Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we peel back the layers of corporate jargon to reveal the juicy bits, and sometimes, well, just the bits. Today we're diving into Sonoma Pharmaceuticals Incorporated's latest filing. Get ready because there is a new investor presentation out, and it promises to offer a fresh look at where this company is heading. If you're here for the raw financial insights and what they really mean, you're in the right place. Make sure you're subscribed, and after this breakdown, pop over to our Discord community linked in the description below. So what is the big news from Sonoma Pharmaceuticals Incorporated? In a nutshell, they've released an updated investor presentation. Think of it as their latest pitch to Wall Street, showing off their progress and future plans. Now, these types of filings are usually packed with optimistic language. But our job here is to sift through it, understand the actual substance, and figure out what it means for the company and its shareholders. Sonoma Pharmaceuticals Incorporated, for those who might not be super familiar, is a company that works in the pharmaceutical space. They're developing and commercializing products. And like any player in this industry, their success hinges on innovation, regulatory approvals, and solid financial footing. Their common stock is traded on the Nasdaq stock market, LLC, under the ticker symbol SNOA. Now, this filing doesn't deep dive into detailed financial statements you find in a 10Q or 10K. Instead, it is referencing an investor presentation. So, we're not going to see row after row of numbers that we can dissect directly from this document. However, the purpose of this filing is to attach that presentation, and it is that presentation that holds the real story we're looking for. The filing simply tells us that this presentation is available as Exhibit 99.1. This implies that the 29th of September presentation is the key document here. When companies update investor presentations, it usually means there has been significant development or a shift in strategy they want to highlight. Usually these presentations are a way to manage expectations, showcase achievements, and outline future growth prospects. They often include information about market opportunities, pipeline progress, financial projections, and management outlook. What we can infer is that the company is trying to communicate a positive narrative to its investors. This could be due to upcoming milestones, new research findings, or a strategic pivot. Without viewing the presentation itself, the filing acts as a notification that new, potentially market-moving information has been disseminated. It is a signal to investors to go and take a look at that exhibit to get the full picture. The fact that this report is signed off by Amy Trombley, the Chief Executive Officer, underscores the importance of this update. When the CEO signs off on a filing that attaches an investor presentation, it signifies that the information within that presentation has the highest level of corporate endorsement. It means management believes this is the story they want the market to hear and understand. Now let's talk about the risks, because there are always risks. The company itself acknowledges that beyond historical facts, many statements are forward-looking, and that is perfectly normal in this industry. They use words like will develop, expect, and expand, but these forward-looking statements are, by their very nature, uncertain. The company points out a myriad of potential hurdles. These include changes in regulatory and clinical guidelines, the sufficiency of scientific data to meet regulatory standards, and obtaining necessary clearances or approvals. That is a big one in pharma. Even if they get approval, clinical results might not be replicated in real patient settings. Then there is the intellectual property. Their patents, which are supposed to protect their innovations, could be challenged or even bypassed by competitors. This is a critical point. If your competitive advantage is built on patents, and those patents are weak or easily circumvented, your entire business model is at risk. They also mentioned that the available market for the company's products will not be as large as expected. This is a classic risk factor. Companies often overestimate the size of the market they can capture. Furthermore, their products might not penetrate targeted markets, and crucially, revenues will not be sufficient to meet the company's cash needs, fund further development. This is the lifeblood of a pharma company. If revenues dry up and they can fund continued research and development, they simply won't survive. The filing also touches upon currency fluctuations, global economic conditions, trade policies, and diverse regulatory and marketing requirements across different countries. These are all external factors that can significantly impact a company's bottom line, especially one operating internationally. Essentially, the company is saying, we have plans and hopes, but a lot can go wrong, and here is a list of all the ways. Now, looking at this from a strategic perspective, Sonoma Pharmaceuticals Incorporated is in a highly competitive and regulated industry. Releasing an updated investor presentation suggests they believe they have positive news to share or a compelling narrative to present. However, the accompanying risk disclosures are extensive and highlight the inherent volatility of the pharmaceutical sector. Their future success will likely depend on their ability to navigate these complex regulatory landscapes, protect their intellectual property, and effectively tap into market demand, all while managing their cash flow diligently to fund ongoing research and development. Given that the core of this filing is the announcement of a new investor presentation, rather than the presentation itself, our analysis is largely based on what such a filing typically signifies and the risks disclosed. The company is clearly trying to convey a forward-looking strategy and build investor confidence. The strength of this message will entirely depend on the content of that Exhibit 99.1. Investors should carefully review the presentation to understand the specific commercial and technology progress claimed, as well as the detailed financial outlook, which are not provided in this 8K form. In conclusion, Sonoma Pharmaceuticals Incorporated is signaling a strategic update through its investor presentation. While the filing itself is brief, it directs stakeholders to crucial information about the company's direction and prospects. The broad range of risks mentioned, from patent challenges to market penetration and funding for development, are standard for the industry, but emphasize the high-stakes nature of pharmaceutical ventures. Investors need to do their homework on the content of that investor presentation to gauge the true health and potential of SNOA. Alright, that is our quick decode of this Sonoma Pharmaceuticals Incorporated filing. What is your take on these kinds of updates? Do you think an investor presentation release is more about hype or substance? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more in-depth corporate analyses, and don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description for more discussions and to connect with fellow explorers of the corporate world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.